Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Princess Janet, and welcome to 2025. Happy New Year to everyone.
Happy New Year.
And today I have with me.
They dragged me here. Now she's gonna pay me.
I have with me my husband. Introduce yourself.
Hi everybody. I'm my husband.
And today we just want to share some few lessons from a few years of marriage. It has been 4 years and some months, and looking back, we just want to share the things that we've learned from marriage, the things that we thought would not happen, or the things we've heard about marriage that didn't happen, and that, or the one that we experienced, and just share those lessons with you guys. So, what will you say in one word? How will you describe the 4 years of our marriage? One word.
In one word? Mm-hmm. Grace. That's what I would call it, grace.
Okay.
Okay, in one word, how will you describe our marriage in 4 years?
I will say faith.
Okay.
Faith.
Okay. Yeah, faith, grace, because it has been. Normally, I would say marriage is a journey of faith. It begins with faith. You don't know what you are getting into. You don't know what the future is going to look like. But what the assurance we have is that we have Christ. The Bible says he is the beginning and the end. He knows the end even from the beginning. So when we anchor our trust on God, we know that, okay, the future is going to be bright. So you put our faith in him, and we know that he's going to help us throughout the journey. So I think faith. Then when you talk about grace is like what propels unmerited
favor. Yeah.
So it what propels the marriage into what you are seeing or what you expected to see in your marriage. And for us, grace is like what has been propelling us so far. It's not by
power, it's not by strength, might. That's been God.
That's been God.
All true.
That's been God all true.
All true. And then there's a saying that marriage is hard work. Do you think in the few years you spent, is marriage really hard work? Were you sweating?
When I was just single, and I hear lots of preachers say that phrase, that marriage, or sentence, that marriage is hard work. I always perceive it to something that you're going to be, it's going to do a lot. You're going to do,
you're going to be struggling.
You're going to be struggling. You're going to be fine. You kind of do like work, because you have to also, like, it's just as if you have a car and the car uses an engine oil or something. You have to keep servicing the car. You have to do some work on it periodically. So the same way for marriage, you have to do some things, like work on it, do some things. So, but it's not like work, like the way they kind of put it, as you are going into marriage, it's like you are going in for a serious, like a labor kind of.
Like you're going to a war.
Yeah, kind of.
Like you're going to a war. It's not really that hard, like they say, like struggling or you're quarreling. It might be different for different people, yeah, right? But for me, for the 4 years, it's not as if there were no challenges. It's not as if there were no misunderstanding. But it was not like hard work. Work in quotes. There were challenges. There were misunderstanding, but they were not beyond what we can handle.
Yeah.
So, and I think, if anybody asks me, I'll say the hard work, or the place I'll say is a little bit hard in marriage, that I wasn't really expecting, with the aspect of motherhood for me. Pregnancy, delivery, taking care of a newborn. I would say that is the part that I would say is the most hardest in marriage.
Yeah.
It's really, really hard.
And to still say something about that, like part of what personally I've learned, I realized that once we start having kids, for us, when we started having kids, our life kind of changed, because the time that you used to have, you don't have it again. So maybe by the time you come back from work and you say you want to relax, that's when your daughter will come and say, okay, daddy, I want to play with you. Or your boy is saying, I want to do this, I want to do that, come and help me, come and play with me, come and do this for me. So it's kind of take away your you time most of the time. So it's always good that I think we kind of find to try to balance it. But what I feel is when you start having kids, it kind of takes away your youth time. Even for between us, the time that we used to have together, now is divided. Your attention is divided, our time is divided. You have to spend more time with the baby,
and the more children you have, the more time you have to spend with them. And I think one advice, seriously, that I would advise new couples is to at least spend some few months together before you get pregnant and start having children. Because marriage is a new journey. You need time to bond. A lot of people that they get married and the same month they get pregnant, it's going to test a lot of things in those first year of marriage. It's going to take a long way to adjust. But if they spend like 6 months or 1 year, I know in our own culture and all that, once you get married, people are already looking at your womb to see if you are pregnant or not. But seriously, it's okay, it's good if that's what you want. But spending a few months together will help the couple to adjust, to know each other better, you know, have some me time that you will at least look back on when you start having those babies and you're like, oh, at least we had some me time. You have some memories together and all that. And it also helps you to balance when you have children, because you've done it before. Unlike when you just get married and you just get pregnant and all that, you start dealing with pregnancy and everything. Sometimes that's why some men will say that their wife has changed. That was not how she was in courtship. She got pregnant the first month in marriage. Pregnancy hormones are there, mood swings and everything. She's not the same person, obviously, because she didn't spend time with her alone. The baby's already there, even though the baby's not out, but the baby's already there. It's not just you and your husband alone.
And for different women, by the time some people get married, get pregnant rather, it's their physiological changes, their physiology changes, where you kind of have the woman wanting sex more, or she does not want, like the hormones now is now reduced, like she does not crave for sex like she used to before pregnancy. So for different women, it can be that physiology can actually vary. So
okay, so now going to the lessons that we have learned. What's the number one lesson that you have learned?
The one lesson that I've learned is you need to be open. You have to be open, because one thing I know about marriage is there's this saying in Yoruba language that so you are in for a lifetime commitment, a lifetime journey. So one thing I learned is you have to be open. Openness is because it's going to help you across all aspect of the marriage. So for me, I would say being open on finance, being open on whatever you are going through, being open on your worries and your concern. That's what's going to help you guys to kind of bridge your marriage. That was going to help you guys kind of bridge whatever gaps that you're having in your marriage. So I think for me, I would say the first thing is openness.
For me, I would say understanding and unity. I'll take the two together. I think it's one thing that has really helped us in our marriage is that we understand each other and we are united in whatever we want to do. Most of the time, like in a large percentage of the time, not like 100%, but a very large percentage. It's not as if every time one person is going this way and the other person is going this way. No. And sometimes when we even have different views, it's always easy for us to, come together and agree on one thing. That it doesn't take long time, to do that. And I think that should, for singles, that will start from courtship. If you are in a courtship with someone and you guys cannot agree and understand each other, it will be difficult to also understand each other in marriage and be united. And when you understand each other and you're united, you'll be able to achieve a lot of things very fast than others. You'll be able to fulfill purpose. You'll be able to, cross any bridge that comes along your way. And what other people are using 1 year to achieve, you can achieve in less than 6 months, because you are united and you understand each other.
Unity of purpose.
I think that's one of the lessons that I've learned in marriage. What other lessons have you learned?
I'll also add this to this, unity of purpose, just to kind of support what you have said. It's the Bible says that a house divided against itself cannot stand. So one thing I've learned is that you have to be united in purpose, like be one in your decision making, be one in your plans. Like if you have like a goal, okay, this is what I want to do this year. Fine, you like you said, you might have a varying opinion, like okay, let's do it this way, but find a way to kind of bring them together, bring those ideas together, bring those purposes together, and work on it. Because when there is no unity of purpose, you can't really go far. You can't really go far. And like I could remember this Bible story where in the Old Testament, where in those days they were building a Tower of Babel, and they said they wanted to go to heaven, and God, not Jesus right now, God looked down and He's looked at on the earth and said, because these people are one in their thoughts, because they are one in purpose, then this thing that they have put their mind on, they are going to achieve it. And God had to separate them based on their language. So if God Himself can look at people and say, okay, because these people are one in their thoughts, and this thing, imagine people building the Tower of Babel, and God is saying, these people, they are going to feel this, they're going to get to heaven with what they are doing. So He had to bring a confusion between them. So how much more when you have a unified voice, a unified purpose, you see that you'll be able to achieve those set goals, those plans, those purposes that you have set.
Yeah. And just to add, unity and understanding in marriage will work well when the two see each other as a team, and you are not like competing against each other, or you are not like trying to make sure it is your own decision that stands, especially as a man. A man is the head of the home, and sometimes some men feel like whatever they say must be final. You need to listen to your wife. You need to listen to her opinion. She might have a better idea than you. If she has a better idea than you, don't let your head go, come in between that and destroy, the idea that she's bringing. Take that idea and work with it. So it's not, marriage is team. It's a teamwork. When you bring the idea and it works for both of you. If you bring the idea and it works, it also works for both of you. And if it doesn't work, both of you are going to face the consequences at the end of the day. So
you just go back to the drawing board and reshape things again.
So, what other lesson?
Well, I think this should. Let's say, is this a part? I think this should also be a lesson. Before we got married, as a guy, I don't know, for most guys, we're always looking after the sex is going to be probably are going to be having sex every day. We are going to be having fun every day. Trust me, it can happen every day. Apart from let's not forget the hormones and everything. There are times that because of work, because of maybe you have kids, because you have several commitments, you are going to school and all that, it can't happen every day, because probably as you are stressed out. There are times that I'll come back from work, or I'm schooling from work, I go to school and I'm back. You can't even think of having an erection, because you have a lot of things that is going on in your mind that day, And if care is not taking this, it's just that we have to make a conscious effort and okay, let's do this thing. But if you have to look at the workload or the things that goes on in our daily life, it's always it's not easy having those erections on a daily basis. Like we used to think when we were single and you're thinking every day I'm gonna be having sex, I'm not gonna be doing it. Nah, it won't happen. It won't happen.
Okay. Another lesson that I learned is that the quality.
You won't talk about this one. No, you need to talk about it from a woman perspective, like
sex in marriage. I will also say, like the point I said the last time, taking time to understand each other will also help a lot. Like sex in marriage, it will help you to explore and understand your body before you start getting pregnant and all that. A lot of problems that people have in marriage that has to do with sex comes from that. Imagine a woman, maybe she got married as a virgin, the first night very painful and all that. Even a few weeks after, it was still painful, and then the next day she got pregnant, delivered a baby, hormones and everything. She has never enjoyed sex before, Also, I think sex just needs a lot of communication. It goes along with sex satisfaction in marriage, especially the early years. You need to communicate with your partner what you want them to do, to turn you on and to make that sex enjoyable, because sex is created to be enjoyed and by married people, and I think a lot of married people are not enjoying sex the way they are supposed to because of a lot of things. But that would be a topic for that's a whole topic
for another day.
On its own.
But basically the aspect I'm looking at is the things that surrounds marriage that prevents you from having sex, basically because of your commitment in terms of work, in terms of school, in terms of whatever you are doing, in terms of the kids. So it kind of, most of the time you are tired and you can't really fulfill that obligation again. So I think those are the things that I think we've learned so far in these 4 years, that forget those mushy thoughts and you think it's gonna be happening every day. It won't. For us, I don't know, it might happen for some people, they might be doing that daily, but for us, because of the things that we go through and everything on a daily basis, it's not visible.
Yeah. Then another lesson that I have learned from marriage is that the quality of your courtship determines the first few years of your marriage. Like how sincere you guys were during your courtship. I would say for us, we were really sincere with ourselves during courtship. Like I think we had more misunderstanding during courtship than we had in marriage. We had one heated misunderstanding during courtship that we were able to settle and iron out, and we've never had something as hard as that when we got married, because in the courtship we were sincere with ourselves, we were open. There was no trying to hide, this is how I am and this is how you are. Both of us were really sincere, and it really helped us in our marriage, because people always say that when you get married, that's when you see the true color. I will not say I sell any other true color apart from what I've seen in courtship for me, because he was sincere. It was exactly the same thing I saw in courtship that I've been seeing in marriage. I will even say maybe better self. So it really helped. And what helped our courtship was we communicated a lot, even though we were far apart, very far apart. It was a long distance courtship, but we communicated a lot and we were open and sincere to each other, and it does really help. It does. The person that will marry you, be sincere. Stop hiding, stop, show your true color, show who you are. This is who I am, and if there is anything in your true color that you need to fix it before marriage, so that it will not destroy that marriage. Because whether you like it or not, if you are hiding in courtship, it will still come out. and you don't want that courtship to spoil, but do you want the marriage to spoil? If you don't want the marriage to spoil too, then let it come out and fix whatever your true color is. I think that's one key lesson that I've learned, and I think singles will learn from too.
Yeah. And another lesson is that I think I've learned so far is sacrifice. You sacrifice a lot, especially in marriage, because especially for your kids, there are things that you think they need. Maybe they need to buy something. For me, I think they need to buy something, and you feel there's this thing that you've been hiding, and you realize which one will I take. And also seeing that in my own parents, because I've seen them sacrifice things for us, and now that I'm married and I'm having kids, I'm like, so it has come to my turn. And when you're thinking that, okay, I need to buy this, but you see that your kids need this, they need this. Even when we go to store, there are times that we go to store and we want to pick things for ourselves, and realize more than half of the things that you pick this for the kids, yours is not even there. Or you as the man, and you realize you want to pick things, and you're saying, you push, shall buy, I will buy my own later, shall buy. But at the end of the day, you are like making those sacrifices, as you are making those sacrifices, even when it's come to a lot of things, a lot of different, it's not just in money aspect, or you providing for the family, a lot of aspect that as a man or as a woman that you have to sacrifice one thing or the other for your kids or for your spouse or for the marriage to go on fine.
Yeah, because especially those kids, children, you're the one that brought them to this world.
Yeah.
You invited them into your home. You need to prioritize them in a way, sacrifice a lot of things for them, and make sure they are perfectly okay. You'll sacrifice your sleep, you'll sacrifice your body, you'll sacrifice your money, your time, and a whole lot of things.
Okay.
It takes a whole lot of things that you are going to sacrifice, and then you also sacrifice a lot of things for yourself too, for each other too, in marriage.
Yeah. And
then I would say another lesson that I've learned is that the first few years of marriage, there are a lot of things you need to overlook. It's not everything that you need to argue
and talk
about. Especially little things. You just need to overlook it and get going with it. It's not everything that must turn into a misunderstanding, a quarrel, an argument, or whatever. So I remember one argument we've had during first few months of marriage. It was just a simple thing, close window. I was like, it's no need to close window. And he was like, you need to close window. I think the rain was falling. I'm like, the rain will not enter the house. No, it's not necessary. Like, you need to close window. Just small things that does not really just go and close the window or just leave the window open. It's not a big deal. We just argued about it for like a few minutes that day. And he finally went to go and close it. So some little things I've heard about couples that broke up because of toothpaste. I think I was small when I heard that story. Like, this is a very minor thing. Someone is pressing toothpaste from up or down. It's not a big deal. Just overlook it. And then we can't overlook it. You can't buy two toothpaste. You have your own. You have your own. No voila. So there are a lot of things you need to overlook. As far as it's not something that is hurting you. It's not as if the person is beating you, is not doing something that can harm you or your children. Overlook small things. Just carry your face and forget about it.
Yeah, another thing I will also add, like some of the things that I've learned personally is money is important. It's not the love of money right now, but you have to have some level of financial stability, because you are not going to spend love in the market. You are not going to spend understanding. You're not going to spend unity in the market. You have to make a reasonable income. I'm not saying you should have to be totally rich. We are blessed as a family, but it's very important you have some level of financial stability, so that when there's a need in the family, you're able to provide, you're able to be there for your kids, they won't say, okay, come and pay tuition, and you won't be able to pay, or come and pay childcare, and you won't be able to pay childcare. So the level of financial stability that you guys have, that even I feel even your wife will be at peace. Okay, we have this financial backup, or we have this financial or savings or something. So one needs to have at least a reasonable sort of income that you know that can provide for the family.
Yeah, especially before kids start coming in. You need to be financially stable. It's also important before you get married, but let's assume you even got married, you're not yet financially stable to the extent that you want. Wait at least before you start bringing kids into this world. You can get pregnant and have triplets. You can get pregnant and have 4 kids at the same time. You know, pregnancy has a lot of surprise that you can give. You can get pregnant and say you want to deliver normally, and it's going to be CS. So if you don't have money, you're just going to be bringing those children into this world to suffer for nothing. So it's very good to be financially stable.
Then there is this
marriage. Money makes marriage sweet. In a way, you know. It's not as if it's the most important thing in marriage, but it makes marriage sweet when there is money.
There's money, yeah. So like another aspect of money you also need, because money is also very like money is not something that can be talked about too much, over emphasized, because money is one of the things that breaks a lot of home.
Yeah.
When you are too particular about money, my money, our money, like money is just a tool that you're supposed to send on a errand, that's supposed to command. It's not something that now needs to now be a god in our life or in our marriages. So it's not something that should now bring a separation between you and your spouse and be, okay, this is my money, a lot of these are money, a lot of these. Money is not something that should create a barrier between you two guys. When you are plan together, bring all income together, when you are setting, because those are things that helped us. By the time we moved to Canada, we were able to bring our finances together. There are times that she was not working, I was the only one working. Right now, she's working and I'm schooling and I'm working. So my income is reduced and she's still working full time. So in a way, you have to find a way of balancing your budget, find a way of balancing your income, find a way of bringing the two incomes together. Don't see that I have to, as a man, and you can't carry it alone. There's this, I don't know, there's this common mentality now in Nigeria that like you have to, like a man, you have to almost do everything by yourself. You are going to kill yourself. Not in this era of things are in Nigeria where you say a man, except if he's a fraudster or is a politician. In the present Nigeria economy or wherever you are watching us, like even in Canada, the economy is not smiling right now. So you can't, except you just want to live a mediocre life, you just want to live on like a low life, like, because you can't sustain yourself on the mass income alone. And if you say you want to sustain yourself on the mass income alone, you won't be able to get so much from life. You won't be able to buy the good things that you really wanted to buy. You won't be able to live life as you kind of imagine. So it's always good to always bring those finances together, bring your ideas together, make money together, spend the money together. It's the money you won't carry to heaven. You're going to spend it here on earth. So why don't you now share? If you can share with people you don't know. I've seen cases where some people prefer to even give money to a stranger you don't know, but for them to give money to their spouse will be something that's very difficult. So
yeah, so openness about finance, communication about finance, planning finance together, and money and everything. You know, 2 eggs is better than 1 is a saying that helps in finance. 2 income is better than 1 income anywhere in the world, whether Nigeria or Canada. You will have more to plan on. You'll have more to, grow your family and invest and everything and plan for the future. So that is it, guys. That is some of the lessons. There are a lot of lessons, but that is it for this video. And thank you guys for watching. You can drop
your comments or questions,
or a topic you want us to talk about, questions, a like, a follow, and don't forget to also share and subscribe to our channel.
Bye.
Bye bye.